y'all, what's up? My name is Ashley. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. You could go ahead and if you want, click the subscribe button so you won't miss any of my future videos. So today's video, what I'm going to be sharing in today's video is something that I have become super passionate about over the past several months. And that is setting goals and getting on a track in life to achieving those goals and actually following your dreams and doing what you want to do with your life, if that makes sense. So basically, the first thing I want you to do is think, how many people in your life do you know that are working jobs that they don't like just to pay the bills? Maybe they're living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe they have dreams of traveling the world but have never done that. So what I'm going to be talking about today is how to live intentionally, how to live a life on purpose, because my channel name is Live Intentionally, and this is something that's sort of a big part of that, if that makes sense. So basically, the backstory for my channel, Live Intentionally, is I have always been sort of a shyer person, not necessarily shy, really just quieter, I guess. But I've always had a lot of anxiety and fear of what other people might think of me, which I don't really know why. That's just how I've always been. And so I've watched YouTube for years. I started watching YouTube videos, like people on YouTube, I don't know, like in middle school. So a long time ago, like 10 years ago at least. Wait, yeah, more than 10 years ago. And I always wanted to have a channel, but I never did because I was afraid people would find out and they would think I'm weird. Like, who talks to a camera and posts it online? Like, that's just weird, right? And so I let the fear of other people's opinions hold me back from something that I have always wanted to do. And so maybe there's something in your life that you are not going towards because you have some sort of fear about it. So maybe you have a fear of failure, or fear of rejection, or fear of success, or fear of what other people might think. Things like that. We are given one life, so we don't need to wait to live. If you have something that you're really passionate about and have always wanted to do, go for it. You know, whatever is holding you back, it's time to get a grip on that fear and push it to the side, because we don't want to end up, you know, at 85 years old and maybe our big dream was to travel the world and maybe have that realization that we never even went out of the country. And so obviously that is just one example. So something I encourage you to do is to make a list and identify what is most important to you in this life. So for me, that's, you know, my faith, serving God and glorifying Him in everything that I do. That is being able to spend time with my family and being a good servant, and also to, you know, be a great teacher, because I teach 4th grade, and just put my whole self into that. So after you've done that, also make a list of your passions, things that you love, things that you want to do in your life, things that you want to achieve. So maybe you want to go for getting your PhD in something, or maybe, like me, you have dreams of traveling the world. I would love to travel all over Europe one day. Maybe that dream is to one day own a home. For me, I would love to live in a little white farmhouse in the country and have horses and have, you know, little golden retriever puppies. That's also one of my dreams. And then another dream that I personally have is in the future hopefully if I ever end up getting married, I would love to adopt internationally. So I have my list of essentials, and then now I have my list of things that I am passionate about and things that I want to achieve. And so once you have your list of things that you want to achieve, it's time to break it down and figure out the steps that it's going to take to achieve those goals. And so something that I do, I've never been like a journaler or a writer or anything, but I have this little blue notebook that is super cute, and I am constantly checking myself on have I achieved this goal yet? And I have, baby steps for achieving all my different goals. In college, I had, finish student teaching, find a teaching job. And it's really cool when you have a list of all your goals and to be able to check some of those things off. Like when I graduate, I purchased a car and I checked that off my list. I got my first teaching job, checked that off my list. And so it's just really cool to have it on pen and paper to be able to check it off. And see, right here, I have a list of my goals and my dreams for life. And so I have, own a small white farmhouse and enough land for horses, adopt internationally, travel all over Europe, be financially stable, hit 5,000 subscribers and then maybe 10,000 subscribers, write a book, continue with YouTubing and blogging, follow Jesus wholeheartedly. And so those are my goals. And so after that, well, a few pages after that, I have a page of each goal written down in this book and steps that I can be taking right now to get me on the track to achieving those goals. And so some of these things do cost a lot of money. I know adoption is very expensive. And so I have little financial goals. I have a savings account specifically for a future adoption or my future house. I have a travel fund. And so each month I'm putting money into those accounts and I'm seeing it slowly accumulate so I can achieve those goals. Now hopefully most of your goals aren't things that require tons of money. Traveling, well yeah, that does cost money, but maybe you want to write a book. And so you can have a detailed plan of how you're going to achieve that goal and the steps that you need to take. Also, if you have watched my channel for a while now, you know that I'm a Christian. And so all of these goals that I have, I am constantly praying about each night. And I'm reading the Word and just meditating on those goals because maybe, it's not God's plan for me to ever adopt or to ever get married. And so I have to be okay with knowing that if this doesn't work out, God's plan is better. He has something better in store. And so that's always something you need to keep in mind if something doesn't work out. We have our plans, but God has His plans, and His plans will prevail, and they are always better in the end. He has our best interest in mind. And also something that I remember when I started my YouTube channel, which is one of my goals that I achieved, was what are people going to think? People are going to think I'm weird. Who do I think I am to start a YouTube channel or whatever? But you have to remember, if it's something that's out of your comfort zone or something that you think, oh, I'll never be able to achieve that, remember that God often uses the most unlikely candidates to proclaim His name. Just look at the Bible, for example. He is always using the most unlikely people to proclaim His name. Think of Paul, who used to persecute Christians, and then he was the greatest missionary of all time, basically. And so don't think that, oh, this is something I can never do, because you can, and if it's God's plan for you, He will help you get there. A book that I actually started reading last night, and I'm already halfway through, is Make It Happen by Lara Casey. And I absolutely love this book, and I definitely recommend it if this sort of thing is resonating with you, or if you have goals and dreams that you want to achieve with your life. Definitely order this book. The tagline is surrender your fear, take the leap, and live on purpose. It's all about living a purposeful life and not letting fear of failure take you out of the game. And so this is something I definitely recommend. I've learned a lot already, and it's kind of a workbook too. It has lots of little action steps. And so if this is something so I highly recommend this book. So that was a little commercial break, but I just wanted to throw that in there. So I guess the big takeaway from this video is don't let your life pass you by. If family is one of your top priorities, but you're working a job that leaves you hardly no time to spend time with your family, then you might want to reevaluate that job choice. just remember we have one life, and so don't wait to live. Make sure that your life decisions, your career, and your time commitments are in line with your most important things and your passions. And that is when you will start to truly live and be able to enjoy life more. I guess the last thing I want to say is, if there's something that you wanted to do for a long time, pray about it and surrender your fears to God and trust that He will lead you in the right direction. So I hope this video was helpful for you. This, like I said, is something I'm super passionate about, and I've seen my life completely change since just really prioritizing what is most important to me and setting little steps to achieve my goals. So it's just been so life-changing for me. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message or an email or leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. But other than that, I will see you in my next video. Bye!